What's up, CrossFit Federal Way? It is Thursday. We're almost to the weekend. We just got to hang on a little bit longer. Although every day might feel like the weekend right now. So, what we're getting ourselves into today, this one is a bit of a doozy. Very low body centered. There is no upper body, anything going on in this. Once we get through our general warm-up, which again is a reminder, 2 rounds not for time, run 400 meters, 30-second plank, 10 push-ups, 10 air squats. Do that 2 times. And then we're going to get into a workout that's named Wildabeast. So, Wildabeast is pistols and running. These are alternating. So we are going to start off with 80, yes, I said 80, alternating pistols, followed by an 800-meter run. Your reps then get cut in half for both your run and your pistols. So we're going to come back to 40 alternating pistols, and then a 400-meter run, and end it with 20 alternating pistols and a 200-meter run 4 times. This is going to get really dicey really fast. It's a lot of volume. Pistols are very challenging. We can talk about a couple ways to scale them back, or you could always sub it with some sort of a loaded back squat, or a loaded squat of some nature. Front squat, back squat, something like that. Put your backpack on. Add some additional load, because 80 pistols and 80 air squats is not the same thing. So you want to add some sort of load to make those squats a little more challenging. This one personally will remind me of Nancy in terms of like how your legs are going to feel. So if you've done Nancy in the past, it's 5 rounds for time of 15 overhead squats, and then 400-meter run, and you just keep doing that. So when you're doing Nancy, like the first 15 overhead squats don't feel that bad. The first run doesn't feel that bad. But as you go, your legs get more tired. And every time you finish your squats, going out the door for a run is a lot harder. So this will be much like that. Expect the first 200, 250 meters of any of these runs to feel terrible, because your legs just got done doing a whole bunch of pistols and they now have to try to move in a different fashion or a different manner. So let's talk a little bit about our movement standards. As far as the running goes, just know where your distances are from where your house is. If you haven't measured out 800 meters or a mile yet, it's a good time to do that. We've probably done 400 and 200 already for most of us anyhow. And let's talk about the pistols. Now, they are alternating, which means that if I do a rep on my right side, I then have to do a rep on my left side to come back to my right. If I get a successful rep on my right, and then I go for my left and I fail, and then I go back to my right, technically that other one that I did on my right side does not count. You have to successfully switch back and forth. And this pulls from open standards and regional standards and all that stuff when people have done pistols in competition. If we're not training to those standards, we're not going to be ready when we face those situations as an athlete. So what I'm looking for on the pistol is I want you to, and you don't have to grab your foot. I just find I feel a lot more stable holding on to my toes. But I want you to think about getting your hip crease down below the top of your knee, and then from there, standing all the way back up. Make sure your hips are open before that foot touches the ground. What I will commonly see is people will be doing a pistol, and when they get to about this point on the way back up, their foot comes down, they hit the ground, they stand up with both legs. That's a no rep, guys. That doesn't count. You need to make sure you're hitting full extension of your hip before that other foot comes down. Even if it's a really subtle thing of I'm coming up, and then right before I get to the extension, this other foot hits the ground, that's still a no-go. So I'm going to hit down on the right and then get down on the left and just alternate back and forth 80 times on the run. Again, just out and back, whatever your measured distance is. So pretty simple. Let's talk a little bit about scaled options. Now, if you have a box or a bench or a chair or a couch or a something, treat it as similar to a box in the sense that I'm going to still alternate legs. I'm going to balance on the one. I'm going to squat down until my hips or my butt hits the box and then come back up. Now what this isn't is I'm not coming all the way down and I'm hanging out down here and then throwing myself up off the box. I want you to be under tension the whole time. So I'm controlling myself down, feeling a little bit of a touch of that box on the back of my leg or on my butt, and then back up to the top. I'm staying under tension the whole time. When I'm in a pistol, I can't relax in the bottom because I'm going to lose that tension. It makes it a lot harder to get out of the hole. So I want you thinking about down and up, down and up. My left knee does not want to work well with me today. And the same rule applies. I can't put my leg down and stand up. I need to make sure I'm coming to full extension before this foot touches the ground, even if I'm alternating on a box. Now you can use a stack of weight plates. You can use just about anything that you can sit down on can work for this scale, and it will still challenge you in terms of balance and all that sort of stuff. So that's a good option. If I don't have anything to sit down on and I can't do pistols, I know that we're all probably getting tired of the backpack, but busting out the trusty old backpack, having some sort of a weight in there, maybe it's 15, maybe it's 20 pounds, maybe it's 40 pounds, but working on back squats, same number, you're still going to do 80, but you're just going to do it with a little bit of external load to challenge the quads and hamstrings and the lower body more than just regular air squats. Because this is a much more challenging movement, we need to up the stimulus of that squat if I don't have the ability to balance on one leg. So squats are okay as long as there's an external load as a scaled option. That's pretty much it, guys. That's kind of what we're getting ourselves into. Again, I know this starts off with a huge set of pistols. So the other ways to scale this is maybe I'm good at pistols, but I don't have, 140 pistols in me today. So bump these reps down. Maybe it goes 60, 30, and then 20. Or maybe it's 40, 30, 20. Something where you're going to lower the reps, but still challenge yourself to do that movement. So consider those options. This one's all about low body. It's going to be a good time. Expect those hamstrings and expect your glutes to be pretty sore tomorrow or on Saturday. So that's what we're getting ourselves into. This is one of those ones that's deceptively simple. So don't be surprised if it's a whole lot harder than it seems just looking at the board. Anyway, we're almost to the weekend. We're doing great. You guys are killing it. Hopefully you're staying up on the weekly challenge with that no processed sugars and still staying hydrated and still working out on the days that you need to work out and do all that stuff. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Can't wait to see everyone when this is all over. Yeah, let's have some fun today. Let's get after it.